Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to build AP Master Yi on the PBE in Season 6. Now if these masteries and runes and items stay the same as they are right now in PBE, AP Master Yi will actually become a thing on the live server, I think. So let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to use a calculator here. Right now the PBE is down, so no surprise there. If there are little differences in the calculator, I apologize, but for the most part the masteries are pretty similar. So we're going to start with attack speed. You want to get the attack speed instead of the increased ability damage. You don't need that. Attack speed is a very core part of this kit because you need the on-hit effects from the different items that you get. Next, you want to get Double-Edged Sword because Double-Edged Sword gives you more damage than Feast, and Feast is just an all-around not useful item for a jungler like Master Yi. I don't know how it fares in the lane, but honestly, I feel like Double-Edged Sword is the way to go. Next, we have Vampirism, or however you pronounce that. I think on the PBE it's actually 2%. I don't know if it's actually 2.5, but 2% lifesteal is still pretty good. You definitely want that over Natural Talent, which is only 10 AD at 18 and 15 AP. So the extra lifesteal is definitely fantastic, and you really want that as well. Next, you have Bounty Hunter, and Bounty Hunter will give you 1% increased damage for each unique champion, and I believe that's up to 10 or 5% per champion. When you kill all the champions. You don't need that because you don't really apply any CC effects for Oppressor, and yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory right there. Next, you need Armor Penetration. You can get Armor Penetration or Magic Penetration, but for the most part, I would say a large majority of your damage, even though you are going AP, is still physical. So you definitely want to get the Armor Penetration. It'll apply to Alpha, it'll apply to your auto attacks, and all the other stuff. So you do want to get Armor Penetration in this case. And you cannot get both of them because you can only get one in the tree. What a bummer, right? Next, we have the Keystone Mastery, and a lot of people like Warlord's Bloodlust because it heals you for the critical damage, which is okay. It's actually a good mastery. I tried it on Critical Mastery, but for AP Mastery, you want Fervor of Battle, and this is where your basic attacks and spells grant you a stack of Fervor for 5 seconds. Now this stacks with itself, and as long as you keep hitting something, it will keep you at 10 stacks. Now at level 18, 10 stacks, you'll get 80 bonus physical damage to your basic attacks based on level. And I believe Devourer does help this ability out, so this is a really good ability to grab. So definitely grab this for your Keystone Mastery. It is fantastic, and it will synergize really well with Master Yi. Now on to this page over here. You can choose Savagery or you can choose the extra movement speed. Personally, I'll just choose Savagery. You know, it's an extra 5 damage. This is 3% movement speed. It's outside of combat. It's not a big deal. As a jungler, you can just get Runic Affinity, which will give you extra duration on your buffs, but people will probably be taking your buffs anyway. Who knows? It seems like it'll be a good buff for you. And it also includes epic monsters, so I don't think it did that last season. But we'll see how that goes as well. We have Merciless here, which is your old mastery. You do want to get that one. And then also you want Dangerous Game. So these things are pretty much the same from last season. And yeah, that pretty much completes your mastery tree. Very easy. You have Dangerous Game, Merciless, Runic Affinity, Savagery. This tree is pretty straightforward with lifesteal. It's pretty much everything on the left side. I think it's interesting how Riot kind of did that. You have the right side has kind of more AP-ish, and then this side has more AD. I just noticed that. But okay, so now we're gonna go to Google. Allow me in full screen, please. Now we're gonna go to the items that make Master Yi tick, and these items are Guinsoo's Rageblade and Hextech Gunblade. Now both of these items were changed in the PBE. So now Guinsoo's Rageblade, or Guinsoo's, or however you pronounce it, now gives you on hit damage, and it also gives you a lot of extra stats. So the base stats on Guinsoo's Rageblade is 30 AD and 40 AP, and it still stacks up to 8 times. So you can get up to 64% attack speed, 54 AD, and 72 AP when you're at all 8 stacks. Now this item is extremely cost efficient because now it is 2,500 gold, and melee units get 2 stacks per auto attack. Spells no longer apply this, so somebody like Kale would take a long time to ramp up this item, somebody like Jax or Master Yi would take no time at all to get this item going. I used it a few times, and it's very easy to get your stacks to 8. And once you get your stacks at 8, you start dealing on-hit damage, which is 20 plus 15% of bonus AD plus 77.5% AP. Now, in a typical game, you'll be getting anywhere from 200 to 500 AP, depends on what kind of items you buy. So you're going to get about 30 to 60 damage in your AoE. That's on your on-hit, and your on-hit also applies AoE. So it's kind of like Tiamat, but it does not apply your basic attack. So you'll be doing 30 to 60 extra on-hit damage, and that on-hit damage will be AoE damage as well. So it'll be like a weak AoE. But this item is fantastic just from the stats alone, 64% attack speed and 54 AD. The extra AP is really what makes you kind of want to go a little bit more AP-ish on Yi, because now you got an on-hit damage that scales with AP, and you also have a huge amount of AP as well from an item. So this is the core item. This is the item that you build first. This is like the new Blade of the Rune King for Master Yi. Now, the next item that makes AP Master Yi tick is Hextech Gunblade. They've changed Hextech Gunblade from 10% lifesteal and 20% spell vamp to 15% of all damage sources are healed. And I believe that includes true damage, because I think I remember healing when I used Smite, and it's really hard to see if your E is healing you, but if it heals from all damage sources, that is pretty crazy. But I would not be surprised if it did heal true damage. So yeah, the lifesteal and spell vamp is removed, and now you heal 15% from all damage sources, which includes the magic damage that you do on hit. So this will be your Gunzu's Rageblade, this will be your Gnasher's Tooth, this will be the active on the Gunblade. You also still have the active on the Gunblade, so you can use that as well to slow people, and that'll heal you a little bit. So Gunblade is a very nice item. It also scales with AP, and it's an all-around great item. And now with the healing as well, you can heal on your auto attacks. And don't forget that you also have Devour. Right now on PBE, Devour gives you 60 magic damage per hit, and you also have the Devour, Sated Devour's passive, which will give you extra hits every other hit. So now you're applying Gunzu's Rageblade every other hit, you're applying Devour every other hit, and if you decide to go Gnasher's Tooth, which is an okay item, with I believe 40% attack speed and 80 AP, you now have an extra, you know, anywhere from 60 to 100 extra damage, assuming that you get one more AP item like a Zanya's. So, yeah. This item is fantastic, and it will synergize with all your on-hit AP damage, and it's just great. Now let me show you the runes that we use on this particular page here. What I'm using right now, you can, on your reds, you either use hybrid penetration. So your reds can actually use hybrid penetration, and I'm sorry this is really funky here. That is really funky, but that's okay. So you can use hybrid penetration here. And this will give you 9 armor, 0.62 magic penetration, or you could just go flat attack speed. Attack speed is fine too if you don't have hybrid penetration. Attack speed works great. Hybrid penetration just takes care of both of your things. For yellows, you can run armor or attack speed. If you're dying in the jungle, which you shouldn't be, you can get some armor. The new jungle's significantly weaker, so you can actually run attack speed here if you want to. For blues, you can either run AP per level or attack speed. I run attack speed because I feel like I attack too slow without them. And then for Quints, you definitely want attack speed. There's really no contest here. Quints for attack speed are pretty much what you want to go. Now, keep in mind that you must go jungle if you want to play AP Master Yi, because without Sated Devour, the on-hit AP damage is completely, like, almost useless. Like, it lowers it quite a bit. So in order to play AP Master Yi, you do need Sated Devour. Gunzu's Rageblade's stacks do not synergize with Devour. However, the on-hit effect will synergize with Sated Devour. And then your passive from your masteries, you know, the Fervor of Battle, and then you have your Gnasher's Tooth, and then you also have your Devourer, and then you have a ton of things that synergize with your on-hit effects. And also keep in mind that right now Gunblade does not give you lower cooldown on auto attacks anymore, so that does not synergize with Devourer either. So yeah, So that pretty much summarizes AP Master Yi. A lot of people are going to say, but that isn't AP because you're doing auto attacks and on hit. But keep in mind that in any given game, you're going to have anywhere from 200 to 500 AP, which is about the same as any typical mid lane mage that's not building straight up AP. So you get to do AP, true damage, and you get to do physical damage. Generally, in a death recap, you're going to have about 50, it depends on who you're killing, but for the most part, you're going to have about 50% AD, 30% magic, and 20% true. And if you're killing somebody that has a little bit more tankier, you might see yourself going with the 40% true or 50% true damage. It depends on who you're killing. And you can usually assassinate people pretty quickly with this build. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy playing Master Yi. Hopefully they keep these things the same when it comes out on live servers. If they don't, then I suggest you get a PBE account and try it because it is really fun to play. Thank you for watching.